All right, Hercules, 2 cups of coffee. We're out here walking. It's a little chilly, but we're gonna do it. This is the third Saturday I called in this week. I've been working 7 to 2 with no lunch instead of 7 to 4:30. My boss said, "This is the third Saturday you missed. We're going to talk about your schedule Monday. Have a good weekend." And I'm just like, well, they're too cheap to fire me, but they probably will cut my hours from 7 to noon, and they'll allow Captain Fentanyl to keep operating a forklift and power saw and put, millions of lives in danger. The bitch in me, or the millennial in me, which I'm not a millennial, but today's world, I could go, well, you guys aren't providing me a safe and sober space in which I can work in and, feel safe and protected, because in essence, that's really what they're doing. I really just do not want to be around this shit. But I also can't just use that as an excuse. I also just, not that I'm too good for this place, everybody that works there, whether they have a criminal record for trafficking drugs or mortgage fraud or whatever the fuck they did, or DWIs, and everyone that works there is too good. I don't want a raise for me, I want a raise for everybody. And the last time I was this depressed, I had landed my dream job, or so I thought, as a corrections officer. All I had to do was stay long enough to transfer to the sheriff's department and get on the road as a deputy. And, it looked like that was a thing that was going to happen. But things, you think the police, the sheriffs, the correctional, whatever system, that's where all the good guys work. It's not. I was very fucking naive at that age. I think I was 25 or 26. And once I kind of figured out it's nothing like the fucking movies, it's very boring. There's no action. People go and come on, bud. People that are in my job capacity are going to cause trouble to make their day more interesting and fuck with people, which is something that I'm not about to do. I just was like, this is a job for fucking dorks, Most of the people that work there wouldn't say shit to somebody if they had a mouthful of it. They're always, not all of them, there was a lot of them that were like me that really just were there. I was more interested in talking to the inmates than I ever was being friends. I think I went out with 1 or 2 officers that I worked for. One was a fucking super dork named Sergeant Mazingo, who was into Pokemon and shit, which is a fucking a trademark of a dork. People were just really fucking... Had a couple cool dudes that worked there, but for the most part, they were just these nerdy dudes that couldn't even bench 135 pounds, and they're causing trouble with people that in the free world would probably fuck them up, you know what I mean? And I just didn't like it, and I just don't like this job. I don't like any job that fucking violates people, and doesn't give people respect, doesn't give people a future, doesn't give people... I'm not saying you got to give me health care and shit, but basic paid time off. I remember my ex said to me, I said, yeah, well, I'm going to be working on Harbor Freight, at least I'll have paid time off, And she goes, well, every place does that. I go, no, bitch, every place doesn't do that. Okay, trust me. I don't know, my thing, once I started working at a place, once I kind of figure out, I had I've got 20-something years in pest control. I've worked from sea to shining sea. I've done everything in pest management, from own well, run one business illegally for a number of years, which was probably one of the funner parts of my career, to stay off the map until I got arrested. That was interesting. Had a business in Las Vegas. I did a lot of Africanized bee removal, a lot of German roaches, had a bed bug business, rodent exclusion, wildlife trapping, blah, 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 blah. And then, so when you go and now you have an interview with a company and they want you to do, they look at your resume and they're like, oh, you'll be perfect for this. I'm like, oh yeah, let's listen. Last job, I think it was Welltech Pest Control. They were like, yeah, you just go and spray a bunch of apartment buildings. And, it's like, but, there's one in Lakeland. I'm like, I'm not driving all over fucking bumfuck Egypt for you guys. Your fucking starting pay is $24,000. What the fuck kind of company starts people at $24,000? You know what I mean? McDonald's. So you're the fucking McDonald's of pest control. Thanks for fucking considering me. I've had 2 decades of experience. Are you fucking nuts? You know what I mean? So another company, Greenhouse Environmental, they're like, yeah, just like Active, spray 25 fuck, I'm just being facetious, but spray 20 houses. I'm going to get your balls cut off if we're going to smell every plant today. Spray 20 houses and then, wipe them all down with the window broom. I'm like, I'm 46 years old. I'm not wiping people's fucking spider webs off because they're too fucking lazy to do it themselves. I'm not some fucking maid. I've got real experience in pest control. That's for fucking people that are like 15 years old and need to earn money when their paper route isn't paying them enough to pay their bills. You know what I mean? Like, sorry. I know, and I don't know. I just think like people, I don't like people taking advantage of people because they have a criminal record. I worked at McNatt's Dry Cleaning. They did that shit to people. It's a Freemasonry Shriners bullshit model that we use here in Florida, where we just go, well, we'll just get the new slaves are felons, Anybody, you're lucky to have a job. You're a felon, Well, everybody's a fucking felon if you've had any kind of interesting life, right? Your owner was a felon. Oh, there's a condom right there. Is there stuff in it? I think so. That's somebody's kids. Thank God they're in there and not in somebody's fucking uterus floating around. This model of, I don't know. I just don't like people fucking people's lives around. And it's like Save-A-Lot. I'm near Save-A-Lot. I would go back and work at Save-A-Lot for the company that owned it, because the original company went back and bought it, and the store has never looked better. It looks better than most of the high-end grocery stores here. And the manager just fucking is I don't work with him personally, but this motherfucker keeps this store dialed in, and he's got the respect of the troops. And that's what I really want in a boss. My boss now looks like, he doesn't look like he showers. He doesn't even look like he brushes his hair. I don't know what it is with people that don't shower or groom themselves. Like, is this a new thing? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand it. I don't know. It's just like, I'm not saying that you gotta look like fucking Brad Pitt in the morning. I know I have it easy because I'm bald, but I have to shave my head every day. I don't know. People just look like fucking bums everywhere. I'm not saying you gotta, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna fucking explain this. You guys aren't retarded. You can't even say that today, can you? I don't know. I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for a career. But I even told my friend who I'm meeting tonight that owns the gym, I said, bro, I would clean the fucking gym or work behind the desk of the gym off the books and fucking love it. You know what I mean? The older you get, it's harder to fucking pretend. You know what I mean? The older you get, the harder it is to pretend that I'm fucking interested in stuff. I just don't, and that's why, and like I said, I've never been I've never been depressed like this in a long time. It's been a long time since I've had this fucking feeling of depression. The last time I had this feeling of depression, I worked at a prison, and I would drink moonshine or Everclear on the way to the prison and take Vicodin and hope for the best. And I did that for a while, and I would buy drugs off the inmates. I just wish, sometimes I wish that I would had the ability to be fooled, or had the ability to like just accept mediocrity. And it's not that I have to work and be on the SWAT team or be a fucking Navy SEAL or have some kind of exciting job. I just want my transactions in life to be somewhat meaningful. I am grateful for the job I have and the friendships that the couple people that I do enjoy talking to there. But it's hard for me. I'm finding myself, I can't get out of bed in the morning, which is one of the major signs for me of that I'm getting depressed, okay? Especially as we get into summertime here. I can't get out of bed in the morning, okay? I have no fucking interest in work at all. I have a higher constitution than most people where I can go through the fucking motions and not need drugs now because of all the work I've had to do and what God has done for me. But, you know, my mental health, I know, like, I've gone to the gym 3 days in a row and not been able to fire anything up meaningfully. And I'm still able to, at work, kind of mentor guys that are in sober living houses that are older than me. I'm meeting another guy today to meet me at the gym at 12:15 to kind of just, you know, I'm trying to get another guy to go with me. So it's not like, it's just, that's the one thing is, before it would shut me down and I wouldn't be able to help other people. Now it's like I can kind of just go, this is what it is. Depression is like the weather. It's going to change in my life anyways. I'm not going to be depressed forever. Suck it up. You'll find a better job. You've already been through homelessness. Worst case scenario, you're going to fucking, you know, find another fucking job. But it's like when I see that the dollar store is paying $1.25 more than we are, and I'm operating a forklift or a machine like the cat, or I'm carrying sandbags, or, you know, or just standing around wasting my fucking life, you know, like for 4 hours, dudes are watching YouTube videos. I'm sorry. I as much as I want to take advantage of you guys, I feel like I should be fucking, you know, given more of a, you know, listen, the boss is this fucking stupid. I told him, you know, listen, these two fucking people are stealing thousands of dollars of merchandise from you. Obviously, you guys didn't know that, but this is what the fuck's going on. And the drug use. They call the sheriff's department, fire him. 2 people knew about it that work here. He went and fucking promoted the one dude that knew about it and watched it the whole time. And fucking, and not that I wanted the promotion, because I didn't. I really don't. I don't. And I don't need to be compensated for doing the right thing. I don't believe in that either. But just the fucking stupidity of if I don't respect you as a fucking leader, I don't respect the family, I don't respect what the fuck they've done for people, because they've done nothing but use people as cheap fucking, like little drones. I don't know. Give me your comments below if you've watched all 14 minutes of this and wasted your life. I appreciate it. Thank you.